Good morning, everybody. Happy Friday, TGIF, and all that good stuff. Uh, Hope you're having a good Friday. My boy there's looking a little rough this morning over on the Rocky Cam. He's had a rough day yesterday. I was out there burning some stuff up in the fire pit, and he kept bringing the ball to me. So whenever he would let me have the ball back, I would throw it. So he got a lot of exercise yesterday, although you can't tell it, but yeah, he'll be doing a lot of sleeping today. Plus, it's pretty gloomy and going to be raining today. So let's see who we got in the house this morning. Here we've got Mr. Hitch Hamilton. Good morning, TGIF to you. Hope all is well down there in Florida. Have another Floridian down here, Javi. Good morning to you, sir. Ian Foote. Good morning. Troy Pritchard. Good morning, Javi and everybody. Larry Galt, good morning. Set the timer. I've already have set the timer, but I'm glad you said that because now I got another fancy button I'm going to try to push. We'll see if it works. I made it where I could do a whole bunch of things with one button push if I can just remember to push that one button. So we'll see if it works or not. I don't know. Let's see. We got Kevin Ells in the house. How you doing, Kevin? Good morning to you. Larry says it's 42 this morning in Austin, Texas. Brr. Yeah, it's been getting down in the 40s here, and I love it. Ryan Ballard in the house. How you doing, Ryan? Good morning to you. Eric Smith. Greetings all. Been a couple of days for me. Yeah, we missed you, so glad you're back. High winds and rain here in Central Texas. Robert Brooks in the house this morning. How are you, Robert? There's another Texan, I think. Charles Steed, good rainy morning. Davey and everybody, okay. 72 in Central Florida. All right. That's right. You're at the homestead now. I just now caught that Central Florida. Yeah, you were at the homestead. Let's see. Brian Mooney, good morning. Brian. Let's see. Troy's in the house this morning. How you doing? Bill, there's man. We got an awesome group here this morning. Fridays are looking good here. Mike Haichu in the house this morning. How are you, Mike? Winner of the first and probably ever ridiculous stepper motor knob challenge. Dave Clemens is in the house. Good morning, Dave. Troy says 39 here in mid-Michigan. Well, thank you all so much for joining me for my coffee this morning. I appreciate it. Like I said, the not going to be a lot of action on the Rocky Can. Of course, there never is, really. Rocky was in here a few minutes ago. But right before I went live, he decided the sofa was a better spot for him. So he took off and no doubt is sawing some logs in there on the sofa. 79 degrees in Southwest Florida. Yeah. What's Hobby saying? Got in at 1 a.m. Still wiping the sand from my eyes. Yeah. Alrighty. Well, what's on everybody's mind today? Anything exciting y'all want to talk about? I'm hoping my new button works. That's I see the first message popped up, so I assume it's working. We'll see. Every time I say what's on everybody's mind, nobody ever says anything. Surely you have something on your mind. I mean, what are y'all going to do this weekend? What kind of weekend plans you got? It's Friday. I mean, you're going to be out in the shop. working, or are you going somewhere, or what's on your mind today? I don't have a whole lot to talk about. There wasn't much on the news this morning, or at least anything, you know, worth mentioning. It's always the normal shootings and that kind of stuff. So I don't really care to talk about any of that mess. Good morning, Dave from Greymouth again. How you doing, Graham? Glad to have you here. If no questions, I am looking for a good 3D file converter. I don't know, to convert them to what? I don't know what. I wouldn't know how to answer that. Putting up some new LED lights in the shop. Good. LED lights are cool. They make lots of light. Rewording the homestead. Rewording or reworking? Maybe reworking the homestead this weekend. Well, since y'all don't have nothing to talk about, I'll mention something I was thinking about. How many of y'all out there like the History Channel? I don't get the History Channel directly with, like DirecTV or cable. I don't have any of that. I just have a regular antenna, but I do, have a smart TV where I can watch the History Channel and stuff like that through Amazon Prime. And I end up watching a lot of stuff, but they'll have the History Channel on there, and you can watch all their old episodes and stuff. Let's see, we got Georgia Bubba in the house. Hopefully I can get over the flu. Good morning, Dave. I need to get in touch with you. Okay. Did you get a flu shot? Every time somebody says they're getting over the flu, I'm like, yeah, did you go get a flu shot? Fat Fingers little keyboard. Yeah, I know the feeling, Javi. Brian says, building more shop furniture this weekend. Flip top cart for my drill press and spindle sander, and a crosscut sled for my table saw. Awesome. That's good stuff. It says he likes American Pickers. That's a pretty good show. I've watched that before. I like seeing the stuff they find. But 3 days before, yeah. Well, they don't kick in until about 2 weeks, so you waited too late to get it. I like watching the History Channel. One of my favorite things that they have on there is modern marvels. They're always showing, these documentary type things about really cool inventions and stuff like that. I like watching shows. I'm not a fan of, I guess because I'm just an old fart. Here comes the Rockster. I'm not a big fan of the silly sitcom type shows and reality shows and the dancing shows and the singing shows and all that stuff. I mean, they're okay, but I would rather watch something where when I get done watching it, I feel like I've learned something I didn't know before or something like that, or maybe just see something cool. Another good show, I think it's on the History Channel too, but it's how was it made, or how did they make that, or something like that. I forget what it's called. But okay, Hobby says he loves modern marvels and how it's made. Building swings and Christmas gifts. That's a good plan, Mike. Yeah, Bubba says I like how it's made. Yeah, those are all good shows. But anyway, I was flipping through the other day and I caught part of a modern marvels thing, and I think it was about some bridge or something that some huge bridge and how they did it. And it was very, very interesting to me. But it got me to thinking about, if you had to compile a list of the top 10 best inventions ever, what what would be on your top 10 list? What are people's guilty pleasures? Smithsonian Channel, Ariel, America, yeah. Can't understand how ghost hunters and those type of shows qualify to be on the History Channel. Yeah, there's some stuff on the History Channel that's a little funny there. Mike says he might be thinking about a Christmas challenge. Yeah, that's a good plan. Michael Pinkerton's in the house this morning. I'm looking sexy this morning. Well, I think I look sexy every morning, Michael. What's wrong with you? Just put some magnets in a knife block and make 54 degrees in the shed at 2 a.m. New Zealand time. I know someone out there is a 90-Day Fiance fan. I don't even know what that is. That must be some kind of silly show on TV. Air conditioning. Okay. I'm not sure what that's in reference to, but okie doke. Niagara Falls hydroelectric power. Yeah, that's always that's a good one. Janet Moore, indoor plumbing. So that would be on your top 10 best inventions ever. Let's see. Bill's got a long comment here. Let's see what he says. I went to Kroger yesterday to pick up my prescription meds like I have done for years. With a straight face, the pharmacy told me it would be $3,000. I told her I wouldn't be paying that, and I left angrily. I later called them and luckily got another pharmacist. She told me it would be $80. What a difference a phone call made. Yeah, I tell you, that prescription drug stuff is crazy. I don't know how some of those people that the CEOs of those companies and stuff, how they sleep at night. I really don't. Earl Walker in the house this morning. Good morning, Earl. Let's see, patriotic. Air conditioning is a modern marvel. Okay, yeah, I see. Yeah, I'm a little slow. So that's going to be on your top 10. Let's see. All right, so we've got indoor plumbing, air conditioning. That zigzag bridge in Dubai was pretty cool, modern marvel. So okay, yeah. So let me know, folks. What would be on your top 10? Now you don't have to name 10, but I mean, what would be your number 1 or 2 on the top 10 greatest inventions ever? So far, we've got air conditioning and indoor plumbing. So let's see here. I guess I'm going to have to break down and put my glasses on. I was trying not to. That's probably why Michael Pinkerton thinks I look so sexy this morning, because I'm not wearing my glasses. I can read them fine when I pop them up over here. They're big enough. Willis Carrier invented AC. Yeah, thank you, Willis. Now here's a guy after my own heart, isn't he? I think the CNC invention. Microwave ovens. This is interesting. Now Bill's got a good one here. Coffee pot. Yeah, that's pretty good. Coffee pot. We got some. I have to say, we have some really interesting choices here for the top 10. The top 10 best inventions ever. But let's see, Larry Galt says TV. I don't know. Automobile. My Ford F-150 Raptor. Okay. The legal divorce is my favorite. Yeah. I don't know if that was technically an invention or not, but it's well used for sure. Electric power. All right, a lot of really cool and interesting comments here about the top 10. But I'm asking this because I've looked it up, and of course, I've only got one person's view of their top 10 or company or whoever this is. But I'll tell you what they say the um, top 10 is. And I'll add them here. The number one, according to this list that I looked up, the number one invention of the top 10 is the wheel. I mean, you think about it. Where would we be if somebody hadn't figured out the wheel? Yeah. And when I looked this up, they said that actually the wheel, let's see if I can see, it was invented, and I don't know how they know this, but somewhere around 3500 BC, they're saying. I don't know. I can see, some caveman type person trying to push, him and his buddies trying to push a big rock, and then they realize there's a little round rock in the way, so they kick it, and then they see it roll, and then, oh yeah, okay, we get it. Maybe that's how it was. I don't know. But it says around 3500 BC, but the harder thing to figure out than the wheel was, I mean, it's one thing to make a round wheel, but now what do you do with it? Well, if you got to put it on an axle, the harder part for them to figure out was how to get a round hole in the center of that wheel and get it where you could put an axle or a stick or whatever through there, and it wouldn't be too sloppy, but it wouldn't be too tight. So that was a big challenge, probably more so even than the wheel. So now I can't see the comments when I'm over here. Javi says he agrees with air conditioning, but then again, I live in Florida. Yeah. Guitarist. Yeah. Somehow that's not a surprise coming from you, Bill Larson. Outhouse at 10 below makes you appreciate, the indoor plumbing. Yeah. Good morning. Jerry Barney is in the house. Yeah, without the wheel, we would not have gears. Yep. Okay, Fred Flintstone invented the wheel, period. Yeah, you might be right there, Terry. I'm not sure. You might be right. Good morning, David Jones from Portal Woodworks. He's in the house this morning, watching over there on the Facebooks. Glad you're here. All right. Well, all right. So the wheel was number one. Now, what do you think might be number two? Let me come and fix this, and I'll show you what the number two, according to this list that I have here. And this one really surprised me. This one really surprised me. But the number two thing of the top 10 greatest inventions ever is the nail. Somebody invented a metal stick that they could knock through and hold stuff together. So I would have never guessed that one. Never guessed that one at all. But I don't know. It is pretty important, I guess. Javi says the wheel was invented by caveman Bob Wheel. Thank you, Bob. Let's see. I was going to say gears, but they're just a wheel with off-road tread. Yeah. All right. Well, I would be willing to bet that everybody probably was like me and was kind of surprised at nail being in the top 10. But you got to think back. before nails, how'd you hold stuff together? I guess that was pretty important. So now we're getting up to number 3, and I haven't seen anybody mention this. And this has got to be pretty important too. This is the number 3 thing, the compass. In the early days, mariners could navigate by the stars and stuff, but that didn't do them any good during the daytime or on a cloudy day. So let's see, I think it was if I remember right, the Chinese invented the first compass sometime between the 9th and 11th century. So, after the invention of the compass, ships can then safely travel farther away, and then, that enabled trade with other places and got this whole capitalism thing going, I guess. So, number 3 is the compass. Let's see if we got any comments over there. Steel worker John Nail. Thank you, John. Invented by Harry Compass. Thank you. Yeah, he's on a roll here. Yeah, GPS. Okay, so, all right, so we're up to number 4 here. So far, we haven't seen indoor plumbing and air conditioning, but let's see if I can get back over here. Yeah, let's hit this in number 4. This is a good one too when you really think about it. Number 4 is the printing press. It changed the whole way people got educated. You think about it, books could be made now without having to, or copies of books, more importantly, because before you could have made one writing it all out by hand, I guess. A German, Johannes Gutenberg, invented the printing press around 1440. So, been around a long time, but yeah, that's a pretty important thing, I would say. And let's see what number 5 is. I didn't see anybody mention printing press earlier. These are primitive inventions. Boats with bottoms in them. Yeah, that would be a good invention. The internet, that's a good one. Glasses, hearing aids, and such. Yeah, we're getting some good guesses. All right, well, I'm up to number 5 here, and let's see what the number 5 is on this list. This is a good one. Hitch is going to like this one, I'll bet. If I can spell it. There we go. Number 5 is the internal combustion engine. This is a biggie when you really think about it, because, once they come up with engines, then they figured out ways to power machines, and it just started the whole industrial revolution. So pretty exciting when they figured that out. And this really isn't contributed to any one person. It's decades of engineering by many scientists went into designing the internal combustion engine. And I'm sure there were a lot of failed prototypes that didn't work. But when they finally hit it, man, think about all the cool cars and trucks and buses and airplanes and all that stuff. That is a biggie. He says, I was right about my F-150. Well, yeah, we'll do that. Cotton Jan's going to show up. Well, let's see. We've already done 5. I don't know. Ice. I'm assuming you're talking about the frozen water and not the other. Charles Steed said vaccines. See, you guys are starting to get the idea now. Okay, so let's see what number 6 is. And I know when I show number 6, you guys are going to go, oh, of course, you know. But number 6 is a really good one. And all of you have one, or 2, or 3. Who knows? But number 6 is the telephone. And of course, we all know who we can thank for that. Javi, it wasn't Bob Bell. It was it was his brother, Alexander Graham Bell. But yeah. First patented in 1876, so a little over 100 years or so we've had telephones. Let's see, that was number 6. All right, so let me look over here in the comments. I don't see anybody. Yeah, right. See, telephone, or oh no, he says flight. Flight. Yeah, that might be on the list. I don't know. Oh, he says the internal combustion engine was invented by Otto. Now that guy was a wankle. Yeah. Oh man. Wankle was a Rotarian. Get it? Yeah. You keep your day job, Javi. All right, so let's move on up to number 7. This again is another really important one. I can spell it here. All righty. This is number 7, the light bulb. Or if you're from down south, the light bulb. A lot of them say. So yeah, light bulb. One for that, we'd all be left in the dark or still lighting candles and all that kind of stuff. So let me check over here in the comments, see anybody. Nah, nobody's commenting about that. All right, so now I'll go back to, we're getting down to the end here. This is going to be number 8. And this one is probably something that y'all have had at some time or another, maybe. Another important invention, penicillin. Apparently started in 1928 by accident, really. Said he found some bacteria. Let's see, what was it? Alexander Fleming noticed a bacteria-filled petri dish in his laboratory with its lid accidentally ajar. The sample had been contaminated with a mold, and everywhere the mold was, the bacteria was dead. So, kind of by accident here. All right, 2 more to go, and you people will probably be surprised at what these last 2 are. Somebody spiked Javi's Diet Coke. Yeah, he's on a roll today, and the light bulb was indeed a pretty bright idea. Depends. Now, that's probably a pretty good invention for some old people, but I'm not sure that's going to make the top 10, Bill. Maybe top 20, but probably not the top 10. All right, so I got 2 more here. We'll go through them here quickly because I know y'all are got better things to do than learn this silly stuff. All right, let's see. I wonder if how long it would have taken before somebody guessed this one. I'm guessing they would have never guessed it. But number 9 on the top 10 inventions, contraceptives. Contraceptives. I'm not even going to read anything about that. But yeah, I guess that's pretty important. Otherwise, we would probably be way more crowded than we are now. All right, one more on the list. Let's see if Grampers. It's much better invention than Alexander's first discovery. Phlegm, yeah. Pretty punchy on 2 hours of sleep. Indeed, you are. All right, now somebody mentioned this last one. That's number 10. So if you said this, you can pat yourself on the back for coming up with this one. But this was number 10. And number 10 is the internet. What can you say? It's pretty popular. I think it may catch on. If it wasn't for the internet, I wouldn't be here right now talking to you folks. So yeah, that's number 10 right there. So just to recap, we've got number 1 was the wheel, number 2 was the nail, number 3 was the compass, number 4 was the printing press, number 5 was the internal combustion engine, 6 was the telephone, 7 was the light bulb. Let's see, where was 8? Oh, there's 8. Penicillin was number 8. 9 was contraceptives, and 10 is the internet. Now, those are pretty good. You know, all 10 of those, I have to say, are pretty good. He was going to say condoms. Yeah. Yep. Hitch wins because he did say internet. Good morning, Mr. Schuster. Good to see you on here. Good old Al Gore, inventor of the internet. I'm sticking to the fake inventors theme here. Yeah. Troy says, morning, Rob. Surprised not to see steam or electric motors on that list. Yeah. Well, I've got a few things that, if I was to start my top 10 list, there would be, I've jotted down at least 3 things I can think of right off the top of my head that are more important than some of the things on that list I just read. And one of those is toilet paper. I mean, to me, toilet paper's way up there. It may not be number 1 on the top 10, but I think it would definitely make the top 5 for me. Sliced bread, that's, you've heard that old saying was, next best thing to sliced bread. I don't know why that didn't make the list. And of course, pizza, you got to have pizza on there too. So I don't know why it wasn't on there. Javi says, I feel sorry for Alexander Graham Bell when he invented the first telephone. No one to call until someone invented the second telephone. Yeah, that's there's good thinking here, Javi. How did he do that? All right, well, I heard my little timer. Looks like my little thing. Yeah, I see how my button's doing. It's filling in, so I can tell it's just about done here. But I heard my timer a while ago. Locks, Bill says. Yeah, locks are important, and as we talked about that yesterday with all the crazy stuff, people won't let people come in their homes and deliver their packages and stuff. So anyway, that's all I got, folks. That's it. I just thought that was interesting. And like I said, by the way, I guess I should credit where I got my list from. This was top 10 greatest inventions from lifescience.com. If you want to go look those up and read more about them. But all of those were great inventions. But like I said, toilet paper for me would be pretty high up on that list too. All righty. Well, we've been sitting here staring at Jack's lifeless body there. I got to get him out and got to get him up and get out there and busy. I did get to burn up some of my scraps yesterday, so I'm pretty happy about that. Michael Pinkerton says alcohol. Yeah. Robotics. How would A.G. Bell react if his phone rang? Yeah. Oh, we got too loud and woke up Jensen Cola. Good morning, Jim. How are you doing? Glad you got to sneak in here at the end. Computer. Yeah. I wonder who would take credit for the first computer, because I would think that had to be a joint effort between several folks to do a computer. I don't know. I could be wrong. If anybody wants to Google that, let me know. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this one up. I got to get busy. I got stuff to do. And got to get Jack outside and get him going. Yeah, it says IBM. Yeah. Let's see. We got Rob Schuster saying morning, Robert. Oh, he's saying morning to Robert Avery, I guess. How you doing, Robert? Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm going to wrap this one up. Thank you all so much again for hanging in here and tolerating my silliness this morning. But it's Friday. I'm excited. It's going to be a great day, even though the weather's going to suck probably. It won't suck for me. It'll suck more for Rocky and Jack, because it's going to be rainy off and on, I think. Oh, look, movement. Rough day, man. Rough day. He had to chase that ball I don't know how many times yesterday. Oh, and the Rockster's still here too. He wake up too. All right, guys. We got some first computer British mathematician Charles Babbage between 1833 and 1871. Okay, we'll go with that. We'll go with that one. Troy says, have a great day, everybody, until tomorrow night's show on Linux. Roll Tide, Jim Burt. Jim Burt in the house. 90 degrees in Bradenton, Florida. All right, so we're going to get out of here. And by the way, if you are a CNC person, and I know there's a bunch of you out there, be sure and tune in to the CNC with Dave Gatton show tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. We're going to be talking about Linux. I'm really excited because I'm going to have probably a full panel. I'm going to have Rob Schuster that's in the chat here. He's going to be joining me. Dave Matthews. I believe Marlo Swedinsky's going to make it. I hope so. And Alan Kreifels. So 4 fairly long time Linux CNC users. So we should be able to get a lot of your questions answered about Linux CNC. And I plan on having my little notepad ready. I've got an extra computer laying back here, and I think I'm going to try to set up a Linux system just to see once I learn more about it. So anyway, if you're into CNC, check that out tomorrow night, 8 p.m. and you can watch it pretty much anywhere. I've got, you can watch it on my timeline on Facebook. You can watch it in the Gatton CNC Facebook group, the GarageWorks CNC Facebook group. You can watch it on the MeWe. If you're a member over there to that social media platform, you can watch it there, and you can watch it on the website. I spread it out everywhere because I always get people say, well, I was going to watch your show, but I had trouble finding it. So I'm just putting it everywhere. So anyhow, thank you guys so much for hanging here with me this morning. And we will see y'all Monday. And everybody have a great weekend. See you guys.